Hi everyone. Is there any stopping the mighty Medicine Hat Mavericks? I think not. They blasted Saskatoon in 9-4 last night thanks to a 4-run sixth inning for their 9th straight victory, and they will try to make that a perfect 10 this evening as the Mavs meet Saskatoon again. Game time 7:05 at Jeffreys Park. Also, Lethbridge Bulls host Weyburn at 7:05 as well at Spitz Stadium. Calgary Stampeders are in Saskatchewan to face the Rough Riders tomorrow night, and two players are hoping to pick up right where they left off from their Game 1 performances. Running back John Cornish was the CFL's Canadian Player of the Week for his excellent work against the Lions, and Charleston Hughes got the nod as Defensive Star of the Week. What's scary for the Riders is Hughes always seems to save his best for them. Cornish looked like he had a real fire in his eyes against the Leos, and he plans to have the same mentality against Saskatchewan.
I sort of looked deep down inside during the season, and I found something that I can use. I can just turn it on. So it's last year I think I struggled a little bit to find not necessarily that anger, but that fire that I need to play at that level. Because I think there's definitely a difference between me playing at that level and not, and I think it's readily apparent to most people. So. Yeah, I just want to play with that fire all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it is. I don't know how it happens or why it happens, but it seems like I have some of my best games against SAS. I'm pretty sure they're going to have a plan to try to prevent that from happening, but all I can do is play hard and come out with my teammates with a lot of rage and ready to play defense.
Stamps won't have to face receiver Geroy Simon on Friday in Regina. The veteran ball catcher is still out with a leg injury, missing 2 consecutive games to start the year. But defensive lineman Terrius George returns to the lineup after serving a 1-game suspension for a headshot on Drew Tate during last year's Western semifinal. Coming off a 6-sack campaign last year, George was one of the best players in training camp, leading the Riders with 2 quarterback sacks in the preseason, which made sitting out Saturday, the opener, extremely difficult.
You're sitting at home, you're looking like, man, I would have went that way, or man, I would have did this, or man, I would have done that, or you see where a couple guys missed a couple sacks. You're like, oh man, you had it this close. I was texting guys during the game and everything.
He's a freak athlete, especially on the inside. He's played a lot of DN in this league, but you put him on the inside, he's got a significant quickness advantage against the offensive lineman.
T. George has looked good in camp, and he looks like he's headed for an all-star season if he continues that type play. So it means a lot for us to solidify having that type player play on game day.
Stamps and Riders on Friday at 7 o'clock in Regina. Late this afternoon, it was announced by Hockey Canada that Reed Duke and Ryan Pilon of the Hurricanes have been invited to the U18 tryout camp later this month in Toronto. Colin Shirley of the Kootenay Ice was also invited to that camp. When the Calgary Flames traded Alex Tanguay and Corey Sarich to Colorado last week for David Jones and Shane O'Brien, GM Jay Feaster said the move made them younger and bigger. And Feaster is really pleased to have O'Brien on his team again. The two were together in Tampa Bay for a while. The Flames are O'Brien's 6th NHL team already. You may remember him best from his days in Vancouver when he was a real pain in the neck to play against.
I mean, that's my game. I mean, I like to get in the opponent's face, make it difficult on them. I like to take a lot of pride in protecting the blue paint in front of the goaltender and just making it tough in the corners. I'm going to be a good teammate and stick up for the boys when I'm out there. And I like to think I can make a good first pass and get the puck out of my zone as well. So. I'm just going to play hard every night. I hope the fans will grow to love me.
He chirps on the bench, he chirps on the ice, and he's also the kind of guy that can do it and back it up. He's not afraid to drop the gloves, and we need that personality. Our bench over the last 3 years, it's a dead bench, it's a dead room. We need personality, and I like what he brings in that regard.
O'Brien will hopefully be a regular in the Flames lineup, unlike Corey Sarich, who was a scratch for most of the past 2 seasons. And a big trade to tell you about in the National Hockey League today. On the eve of free agency beginning, Taylor Seguin is headed to the Dallas Stars. The Bruins sent Seguin, Rich Peverly, and prospect Ryan Button to the Stars in exchange for Louis Eriksson, Joe Morrow, Riley Smith, and Matt Fraser. And free agent Danielle Briere has agreed to a 2-year contract with Montreal, Jackie.